We are back at 101 Sports as I'm now joined at the desk by Ryan Balick and Jason Vonick. We're going to be talking a little college basketball because, folks, March Madness has arrived. And with that, guys, before the tournament, we have the conference tournaments. And we have a couple of bubble teams doing all that they can to get that spot in the tournament. That spot is 68 teams. Now it is 68 teams. Yep. So, Ryan, which team do you think has put themselves in the best position, a bubble team, entering the conference tournament, to make a possible bid for the tourney?
Well, going into conference play, the SEC was looking a little shaky, and Tennessee was really struggling coming out the gate. But they've won 8 of their last 9 games, including 2 wins against a tough Florida team this season. Finished out their season with a win versus Vanderbilt. And this team is now second place, has now jumped to second place in the SEC. And that game last week was huge.
Yeah, especially, I mean, 2 weeks ago, they weren't even in bubble discussion. Now, as you said, 8 of 9, they lost their 2 best scores from last year. So that's really impressive to see what they're doing. I totally agree. So I'm going to give you another team, though. I think West Virginia has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the other bubble teams have either lost one or won one.
West Virginia is going to have to make a run. I think they're going to have to win at least 2 games.
They're going to have
they have to win at least one.
But Bob Huggins has his teams ready come tournament time, and they should be good playing in MSG, where they have won in a couple years past. They won 2 years ago. Now, looking at conference tournaments again, which one of these bubble teams do you think Jason could do their best to maybe win a conference tournament?
Well, I'm going to go with the team last year that didn't have 1 run, but 2, and that's UConn. They have a live talent. Here's the thing. UConn has played really poorly this year, and I will definitely give you that. But the fact that they have so much talent, and the Big East has Syracuse as really the only powerhouse. So UConn has a chance to do it.
Yes, UConn has the only reason I trust UConn, or I give UConn even a shot, is just because of their past experiences
and Calhoun returning to the bench.
Exactly. That's the only reason they're going to have this UConn team. Really has no business, I think, competing in the Big East tournament. They're just not even close to as talented as that team last year.
Who do you think can make a run in the conference tournament?
Oh, I'm going to go with Virginia. Because Virginia had such a hot start to start the season, and they're going to have to make a run because they've been struggling lately. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games at home. They get to play UNC. If they can win that game, they're going to be great shape.
And Duke. That's going to be tough.
Well, Duke would be in the championship, but if they beat UNC, they're
tough.
in.
But if Virginia can capture some of that magic that they had in the beginning of the season, Cavaliers could make a run.
Very dangerous team.
So, guys, not to end on a down point, but there were some disappointing finishes in college basketball this past week. And Ryan, starting with you, which team disappointed you the most?
Unfortunately, on Saturday night, it was not all about the Dukies, as Dick Vitale would say. Duke came out with a really big opportunity. They had no business this year winning the ACC regular season title. UNC is a way more talented team than Duke. Duke had a chance at home on senior night to shut up the Tar Heels. Came out down 22-5 in the first half, or doubled up in the first half, no chance.
Yeah,
Pathetic.
I mean, the one thing is they still have a good chance to win the conference tournament and then maybe get that 1 seed.
In the second round.
I'm looking at Seton Hall, one of the most inconsistent teams in the entire country. And we almost thought after that big win against Georgetown that they were in. They lost home against Rutgers, who had lost 6 straight before that. And then by 28 to DePaul. So they have to
only 28? I thought it was like 38.
Yeah, it was something like that. They need
pathetic.
The fact of the matter is they need to make a run.
DePaul is 3-15 in the Big East. Pathetic.
Both teams, very tough losses. We'll see what happens, though. Can't wait for the conference tournaments to finish up. We have to take a quick break, but when 101 returns, Kurt will be joined by our NHL experts to take a look at which team has improved the most since the All-Star break. Stay tuned.